us. We have Akshay Marathe, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Pramod Swami, leader of the BJP. Mr. Swami, to you first. Much has been made about the timing of those raids against Manish Sisodia in his home and his office, coming just hours before this trip to Gujarat. Many would perhaps at the end of the day today say that a self-goal perhaps, because it really gave the Aam Aadmi Party so much ammunition. They have been going all guns blazing against the BJP and Prime Minister Modi in Gujarat on in his home state, on his home turf.
देखिए, ऐसा है कि किसी भी राजनीतिक दल को अपना प्रचार करने का अधिकार है, वो कहीं भी जाए ये उनको अधिकार है। लेकिन यहाँ सवाल बहस जो हो रही है वो इस बात पे हो रही है कि अगर इनकी लिक्विड पॉलिसी अगर इनकी सही थी तो इन्होंने उस लिक्विड पॉलिसी को वापस क्यों लिया। 144 करोड़ रुपए जो है उसकी शराब माफियों को उसकी छूट क्यों दी गई। शराब माफियों का कमीशन 2% से बढ़ा करके 12% क्यों कर दिया। ये सवाल आज उनके ऊपर उठ रहे हैं। वो इस सवाल का जवाब नहीं देते। जब भी उनसे इन सवालों पर, भ्रष्टाचार के सवालों पर बात की जाती है, और उनके जो मंत्री है सत्येंद्र जैन, वो तो भ्रष्टाचार के मामले ऑलरेडी जेल में हैं, और उनके बारे में ये बात बड़ी प्रमुखता से हर समाचार पत्रों में छपती है। जबकि उन भ्रष्टाचार के बारे में उनसे जब सवाल किया जाता है तो वो कहते हैं कि मेरी याददाश्त चली गई। जब उनकी याददाश्त चल गई तो केजरीवाल जी ने उनको आज भी मंत्री बना करके क्यों रखा है। और जब भी उनसे भ्रष्टाचार के विषय में बात होती है तो वो कहते हैं कि हमारा दिल्ली मॉडल अच्छा है, हम न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स में हमारे बारे में ये छपा है, वो छपा है। मूल मुद्दा अभी राजनीति का नहीं है। चुनाव आएंगे तो आप राजनीति करिएगा। मूल मुद्दा आज भ्रष्टाचार का मुद्दा है, और इसके ऊपर में सारा देश आपसे सवाल कर रहा है और आप उसका जवाब नहीं दे रहे हैं। और आप जो जवाब देना चाहिए वो नहीं दे करके तू इधर उधर की बात न कर, तू ये बता के कारवा क्यों लूटा।
All right. Let's bring in Akshay Marathe. But Akshay, huge revelations made today by Mr. Manish Sisodia on the ground there in Prime Minister Modi's home state, claiming that the BJP has reached out to him, claiming that there's been an offer made that all of these charges will be dropped against him if he goes over into the BJP. Of course, the big question that the BJP is putting across to you is that why did AAP go back on its liquor policy if it was so good? That is, of course, the question of the hour. But the other question to you today is there proof of this?
Sarah, as we have been saying from day one, if this entire drama that the BJP and the CBI have been carrying out was indeed about alcohol, liquor and corruption, then we would have seen some action in the state of Gujarat, which is apparently a dry state. But just last month, 80 people lost their lives because they drank spurious liquor. And local Gujarati media reports have said that a BJP leader was involved in the supply of this liquor. Why do you think this Central Bureau of Investigation, which reports directly to the Prime Minister, is not even interested in going after these BJP leaders supplying illegal liquor? Let me finish quickly.
I just want you to hold that thought. I want you to hold that thought, Akshay Marathe. I'm going to come back to you. You're pointing out the discrepancy between the two policies, Gujarat's excise and liquor policy, and in Delhi. But we have some breaking news coming in, which is that the Aam Aadmi Party is saying now that they have a recording of a BJP leader with Manish Sisodia, that when this offer was made to him, that Manish Sisodia had recorded this BJP leader. Let's go across to Sharad. Sharad, big breaking story coming out, because I had just been asking our AAP spokesperson here, is there proof? Because these are very serious allegations, and is there proof to back them up? What are you hearing?
देखिए, आम आदमी पार्टी के सोर्सेज ये बता रहे हैं कि जब ये ऑफर बीजेपी लीडर की तरफ से किया गया था एलिजिडली, कि मनीष सिसोदिया को ये कहा था कि आप आम आदमी पार्टी तोड़कर बीजेपी में आ जाइए और आपके सीबीआई के ईडी के केस वापस हो जाएंगे, और न सिर्फ केस वापस होंगे बल्कि आपको बीजेपी अपना सीएम कैंडिडेट भी बना देगी, जैसा कि आरोप लगाया है मनीष सिसोदिया ने। तो आप सोर्सेज ये क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि ये जो बातचीत हुई थी, ये मनीष सिसोदिया ने ये जो बातचीत थी ये रिकॉर्ड कर ली थी, और आम आदमी पार्टी के सोर्सेज ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर जरूरत होगी तो आम आदमी पार्टी ये जो रिकॉर्डिंग है इसको जारी कर देगी। सोर्सेज ये भी कह रहे हैं कि आज पूरे दिन में किसी एक दो नेताओं ने वैसे ही इन आरोपों को खारिज कर दिया हो तो बात अलग है, लेकिन किसी भी बड़े स्तर पर या जिस तरह से स्ट्रांगली एलिगेशंस को खारिज किया जाता है वो बीजेपी ने नहीं किया है, तो उससे अपने आप ही काफी कुछ पता लग रहा है। और अगर जरूरत होगी, अभी तो उनका ये कहना है आम आदमी पार्टी सोर्सेस का कि अभी जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन अगर जरूरत होगी तो रिकॉर्डिंग्स भी आम आदमी पार्टी के पास हैं, ऐसा आम आदमी पार्टी के सोर्सेस क्लेम कर रहे हैं।
अगर जरूरत होगी, then they will release these tapes. So of course, the big question is why not release these tapes now? But Pramod Swami, first to you, a very serious allegation made by the Aam Aadmi Party, an allegation that has been made many times over by opposition leaders. Now the Aam Aadmi Party is saying they have proof, they have a voice on tape. This call was recorded by Manish Sisodia. Pramod Swami.
हाँ, नहीं, ये आम आदमी की पॉलिसी रही है हिट एंड रन। अगर उनके पास में रिकॉर्डिंग है तो वो जारी क्यों नहीं करते? हम उनको चुनौती देते हैं कि वो जारी करे। अगर उनके पास में कोई तथ्य और परिणाम है तो वो जारी करे, मीडिया के सामने जारी करे, और कौन से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेता ने उनको ऑफर दिया उसका नाम उजागर करे। ये सिर्फ इनका एक प्रोपेगेंडा है। और जिस पार्टी ने इंडिया अगेंस्ट करप्शन के तहत में भ्रष्टाचार को मिटाने के लिए अन्ना जी के नाम का दुरुपयोग करते हुए भ्रष्टाचार को मिटाने की मुहिम छेड़ी थी, आज वो पूरी पार्टी भ्रष्टाचार में डूबी हुई है। ये किस मुंह से इस तरह की बातें करते हैं? और फिर दूसरा सवाल इन्होंने
Let's go across to Akshay Marathe. Akshay Marathe, the BJP is saying they're ready to call your bluff. Why wait for the right moment to release this recording? If you have it, why aren't we hearing it?
Sarah, the perfect person to call the bluff of the BJP would be the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. Because he was one of the first people, he was a Congress leader, remember, 5 years ago. And the CBI had found him in a corruption case where there was a video of him, accepting bribes. And in a couple of years, Himanta Biswa Sarma joined the BJP, and now he is the Chief Minister of Assam from the Bharatiya Janata Party.
No, you are lying. You are lying.
Pramod Yadav, no, one second. Pramod Swami, please hold that thought. Please let him finish.
My home state of Maharashtra,
and Akshay Marathe, please answer this question.
Who the BJP had challenged for over corruption, and today Devendra Fadnavis welcomes him with open arms and has made the BJP even wants to make him a minister in Maharashtra now. So this is the reality of the BJP, that whenever they want to target an opposition leader, they send the CBI and ED after them. If that person has indeed done any corruption, then unfortunately those leaders are forced to join the BJP, because otherwise the BJP will send them to jail. In our case, in the Aam Aadmi Party's case, we are confident that we have done no wrong. So Mr. Sisodia is not going to come under the pressure of the BJP. He's not going to leave
Fair
the party
enough, Akshay Marathe, but why are we not hearing this tape? If there is a tape, is this a bluff, is what the BJP is saying? Is there a tape? If there is a tape and a recording, because these are very serious allegations that have been made before by other opposition parties, why can't we hear it?
Sarah, if our allegation was a departure from the previous track record of the BJP, then yes, I would agree with you that this is an allegation that sounds unbelievable. But this is exactly the BJP's modus operandi. How is this unbelievable for anyone watching this show today to think that the BJP does this kind of thing? Again, when it comes to releasing the audio, there is a time and place for everything. The Gujarat elections are still a few months away. Everything will come out, all the truths will come out with time.
Okay, everything will come out in its own time, Pramod Swami, but the opposition saying over here that the BJP is selective when it comes to corruption. You only want to, wipe out corruption when it's in the opposition. B.S. Yadurappa, Suvendu Adhikari, Himanta Biswa Sarma, the state from where you're from, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, all of them given a clean check the moment they come into the BJP's fold.
देखिए, मैं इनको चुनौती देता हूं कि जब यूपीए की सरकार थी तो हमारे ही भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कुछ नेताओं ने कोर्ट पे गया और उनके अगेंस्ट में, जो उनके करप्शन के अगेंस्ट में उन्होंने तथ्यों के साथ प्रमाण दाखिल किए और उनके अगेंस्ट में केस चल रही है। अगर आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं के पास में किसी भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं के विरुद्ध में अगर तथ्य है तो ये कोर्ट में क्यों नहीं जाते? ये सिर्फ टेलीविजन चैनल पर आकर के बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं। अभी हेमंत दा ने इनके जो डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर है उसके ऊपर में ऑलरेडी एक मानहानि का केस किया हुआ है, और पहले भी मानहानि के केस जब इन पे हुए तो इनके नेताओं ने माफी मांगी है, ये भी हमने देखा है। तो इनकी बात बातों की कोई प्रामाणिकता नहीं है। दूसरी बात इन्होंने एकनाथ मुंडे की बात का उदाहरण दिया, तो एकनाथ मुंडे के ऊपर में कौन सी सीबीआई और ईडी का केस चल रहा है?
नारायण राणे जी की बात कर रहा हूं।
उनकी टोटल पार्टी शिवसेना ही अगर टोटल पार्टी अगर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ में अलायंस करती है तो उसमें इनको क्या आपत्ति हो रही है? अभी ये सिर्फ एक राजनीति के सकुबा छोड़ रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये चारों तरफ से गिर चुके हैं और इनकी टोटल जो विश्वसनीयता है, क्रेडिबिलिटी है, वो इनकी पूरी तरह ये क्रेडिबिलिटी लॉस कर चुके हैं। तो इनके
पास टॉकिंग अबाउट क्रेडिबिलिटी, मेनी हैव पॉइंटेड आउट दिस सेंट्रल एजेंसीज जो रेड करते हैं आपके ऑपोजिशन लीडर्स, उनकी टाइमिंग इज ऑलवेज on point. Before you have polls coming up in certain states, you have timing, whether it was the DMK investigated 4 days before the polls, whether it's leaders in the Trinamool Congress investigated before polls. Isn't that an issue of credibility? Many are raising questions about the credibility of central agencies under this government.
चुनाव होते रहते हैं और
all right, last word, let me go across to Akshay Marathi, quick response and then I have to wind up.
उसको रोक नहीं सकते।
Sarah, on the issue of credibility, it's important to look at the BJP
all right, Akshay Marathi.
When it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party, for the last 8 years, in many of our leaders, including Mr. Sisodia, has been raided by the CBI many times over, not just once. In all of those cases, the BJP never takes the case to the logical end because there is no evidence, no proof against Aam Aadmi Party. So the question is, if all those 150 times the BJP has failed to prove anything against AAP, how are we supposed to believe them this time? What is the credibility of the BJP when it comes to allegations against the Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, many unanswered questions, including why AAP went back on that excise policy if it was so good, and many unanswered questions.
Can I answer that?
All right, go ahead, quickly, 30 seconds.
No, it's very important. Look, the excise policy we maintain even today was the best excise policy that India has seen so far. But when you have a situation where the CBI, the LG, the Delhi police are all trying to scuttle the policy and threatening private vendors who want to become a part of that policy to withdraw, then you have a situation that Delhi does not have any liquor shops. And that's very dangerous because then you will have illegal liquor flowing in the city. And that's what will create a situation like
the fallout of that we of course see in Gujarat, which has which is a dry state. All right, thank you so much. This is not the last we've heard on this matter, this debate. We're of course, Akshay Marathi, waiting to hear that recording which Manish Sisodia claims that he now has in his possession. We look forward to that. Thank you all for joining us.